It's the building blocks of our world. It's our environment, our technology, how we communicate, create, and innovate. A single data point won't move the needle. But the more data points we connect, the further we can go. Because it turns out, the best way to forecast the future is to build it. So we did. And this is that mark. Engineered to embody innovation and defy limitation. Harnessing the unknown to reveal the future. This is the new Sandisk.
Wow, this is like the full-on rebrand for Sandisk, I guess. I want to watch it again just to get a better opinion on this ad. But at the moment, don't you feel like there's a lot of film grain? Especially when you look at something that's super metallic with lots of film grain, you immediately think of Y2K. I guess that's the brand. Sorry, that's the visual style that it feels like. But at the same time, this whole thing feels very digitalized and modern. So I'm not really sure how to classify this visual style. Anyways, let's watch it again. I'll have a better understanding of everything.
Data is everything. It's the building blocks of our world. It's our environment, our technology, how we communicate, create, and innovate. A single data point won't move the needle. But the more data points we connect, the further we can go. Because it turns out, the best way to forecast the future is to build it. So we did. And this is that mark. Engineered to embody innovation and defy limitation. Harnessing the unknown to reveal the future. This is the new Sandisk.
Okay. This is exactly what rebranding should look like, not like the Jaguar one.
It's our environment.
I like this a lot. It feels so fluid, doesn't it? It feels like it's shorter than 40 seconds. It's mostly because all the match cut it has. Everything is just match cut, and every single shot is like 1 second, 2 seconds max. This is probably like one of the longest shot here. Also, this is kind of insane. What is this, like Legos? It's probably done in Houdini. I would not see anyone smoothly doing this in the software like Cinema 4D and not have your computer crash, unless you have some supercomputer. Dude, even the match cuts here, right here, just like rapid fire. And you know, at first I actually thought that they might have used AI to do those match cut, just because if it's going so fast, it's almost like still frames, and you don't really need to build a whole scene, especially here. Imagine you have 3 frames per shot, and then you stack them together, that's less than a second. It's time consuming and not cost effective, but they did it anyways. They actually simulated each one and stacked them together. And all these effects, I wonder how long it actually takes them to complete. Like, I guess depending on how many people there actually are. 5 people? But yeah, what do you guys think? You love the film grain, but the problem is nowadays people are adding too much of it. Okay, so are you saying that there's way too much film grain on this? I think the renders are starting to look cleaner and cleaner. And reintroducing those film grains definitely has that retro look. And I do like it, especially for anything that's more computer generated. You've seen those like AI art. People are also slapping the shit out of film grains. It feels less digitalized. Jaguar is shit. This one actually looks good. Jaguar do those shit, rebrand on purpose, to be honest. Not like they think it's cool or something. Okay, they do it on purpose because they think it's trendy. Jaguar's audience are probably like old white men. Such a big shift that I thought that they're doing it as a joke. Okay, even if you do all these simulations in Stardust, like you said, it still takes a lot of time for something that's 3 frames. Most of my budget was spent on the longer shots. Also, I want to talk about the point clouds here. If you want to make point clouds like this, just don't do what I did. A couple years ago, I had a project. I used my friend's drone footage and I imported it into this software called Metashape. And from Metashape, I was able to export the 3D geometry, color, points into Unreal Engine. But on top of it, I literally had to scatter 5 million fucking particles on my geometry. At the time, there was no easier way. But now, if I were to do this effect, I would straight up just use Luma AI or Polycam that has Gaussian splatting. And I think for Luma AI, you have like a plugin as well. So when you import it into Unreal Engine, it's so lightweight too. It basically guesses the shading will look like on each point cloud. So it's a lot more optimized. If you want to save yourself from the suffering that I went through, definitely look into the new methods instead. So you see the particles having almost the same color. It's because I literally just scattered it with Niagara, and I wasn't really sure how to import the color data even. I think at the time I had a 3090 too, so that was a really heavy scene for me to render. By heavy, I mean each frame probably took like 50 seconds, maybe even less, 20 seconds I say. Touch Designer, yes, actually, you know, it would be really smart to achieve this effect on Touch Designer. Oh, they didn't. They used Houdini, Redshift, Center 40, and DaVinci Resolve. I feel like they probably did exactly what I did. They used meta shape to interpret real-life drone footage and change it into point clouds, but there's not much control. The logo building sequence, oh, it is like Lego. From scratch in Houdini. How much time did they actually have to build it from scratch? I really want to know the pitching process, because for something this experimental, that also means that the artists themselves have to be confident in their skills to problem solve and figure that shit out. I think for me to pitch one risky idea in 5 of those ideas that are stable is perfectly fine. But whenever I have 5 ideas, 5 out of 5 are experimental, I can't tell the client with confidence, yeah, I'm gonna pull it off, because I don't want to overpromise, you know what I mean? I would not want to fuck it up. So being experimental definitely comes with a risk, but in this case, they paid it off. If you can't do this, find the guys who's able to do it. That's also how I see things. That's why I am able to pitch the ideas and land the projects that I can land. But it still is a risk, especially on the budget, because if you communicate with the clients first and then you decide on the budget, what if the people that you want to hire, you simply just can't afford them? You can't just be like, hey, can you guys give me a fucking discount, like 50% off, you know? But then again, if you were to communicate with the contractors earlier, the artists earlier, there's also an issue. And the issue is that if you keep telling people, hey, do you have any clue how to achieve this effect? How much is it? And then you work that into your pitch deck. What's going to happen is that if you repeat this process over and over again and you don't actually land those projects that you pitch, it decreases your reliability. It's like, why the fuck would I brainstorm with you, look into potential solutions for you when you're not even landing the gig? I think it's a risk on both sides. If you can't really add more cost to the project for your client, sometimes you just have to pay for your own money just to save from the client. I think adding cost to the client is just not a good look unless it's revision that is discussed previously. You can't just be signing the contract and be like, actually, this 2-second effect is going to cost you an additional $10,000. I don't think you can just casually ask for that, you know? And again, for people like that, they're probably a studio together, right? So it shouldn't be a problem when they pitch each other project.